actually sear it in your mind. That's right. And what I mean about sear it in your mind, have you ever seen somebody that got branded by an iron? They sear it, that's a permanent mark. That's right. That mark will never go away. Same thing that we need to start back doing. Get God law, statute, commandment, seared back in our hearts.
We good? Giving our praise to the Most High and His Son. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom to all of the brothers and sisters that's observing the Sabbath. Praying, man, that you brothers and sisters had a blessed week so far. Peace, man. Blessings to all the brothers and sisters that's serving the Father in sincerity and in truth. Today's topic, man, is going to be very, very serious. Very serious. This is something that it's a little bit unorthodox, man, to come out of a little bit unorthodox, come out of a church. But this message is very important. And if it ain't a message that you can listen to throughout the year, or if it isn't a message that you can take heed to throughout the year, let this be the message that you take heed to. Okay?
That's right.
And this message is going to go out to everybody. And this message has nothing to do with, your doctrine or anything else. This is real life and this is serious business.
That's right.
Okay? We're going to be talking about, man, these child abductions. Children. And how we must, as adults in the nation, we must understand that we have to protect these children.
That's right. That's right, bro.
We have to protect these children. Our awareness about what our children is doing, where our children are at, who our children are with, what are they involved with? Because right now in this world, man, wickedness is at an all-time high, brothers and sisters.
That's right.
You look up, man, with these reports, man, 100,000 plus children have just magically disappeared in the United States.
Bring it out.
And we're going to be covering it all today as an awareness. And it's not just about children, it's the women too. Women being abducted, kidnapped, these different type of things. You know, I feel like that we just way too relaxed. I feel like we way too loosey-goosey in our everyday lives.
That's right. Bring that out.
I feel like that we just don't really think about these type of things. And we are not aware of these type of things. And these type of things plague our community the most.
That's right. That's facts.
Too many of these young children able to wander around at very young ages. 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old, already in the streets.
Bring it out.
With no protection, no knowledge, no understanding about anything. In the system, in the world, they take advantage of it.
That's right.
And to a normal man and to a normal woman, you wouldn't even probably think about these things, because these type of things to a normal man and a woman, these are inhumane.
That's right.
But inhumane things happen all the time.
That's right. True.
Okay? This is very serious business. This is something that we cannot ignore. For you sisters that's out there, you single sisters with these children, you need to be walking with the Most High and His Son.
Bring it out. Right.
I'm serious. You really need to be having your arms up, having your good deeds up, the whole armor of God for protection of the Most High and His Son. Child predators running loose, running rampant, showing themselves in this day and age, showing themselves, not even hiding it no more.
That's right.
And if we continue to walk around with no knowledge, no awareness, not even having these things on your mind, family, I'm telling you, that's one of the worst and one of the most scariest things that you can think of when you're talking about your children or you're talking about your wife. Have your eyes up, man. Especially when you out with your children.
True.
When you out in public places. When you out at the gas stations. When you out at the malls. When you at the games. When you at your jobs. Pay close attention to these children.
That's right.
Because they snatching them in broad daylight.
That's right.
Bring it out.
Within 10 seconds.
Bring it out.
This right here, this message right here, this is for everybody. I don't care where you go, what you do. This right here is serious business. Have your eyes up when you around and you dealing with your children. Let's get ready for the slideshow, bro. Don't worry about it. I got plenty of stuff, man. It ain't gonna do nothing. I got plenty of info today. Pens, pads. Okay, we're gonna be going into the scriptures a little bit, but today, this is gonna be more of a pen and a pad day. This is gonna be more of awareness. You know, these things need to be brought out for our Israelite brothers and sisters. Okay? Let's go ahead and pull up to the slideshow. Okay? Go ahead and go to the next slide. You know, these troubling times, man.
That's right.
These are troubling times. Very, very, very troubling. Okay? 85,000 plus children missing in America. And you know the numbers that they give us, man, you can go ahead and multiply that times 6.
Bring that out.
I mean, you know, if you understand, you can go ahead and multiply that times 6.
That's right.
Okay? Be aware and have your eyes up on your children. Let's go to the next slide. One thing that I want brothers and sisters to really understand, man, it's really time to get serious about the well-being and overall safety of you, yourself, and it's time to get serious of the overall well-being of our child, of
That's
our
right.
children. And as parents, we have to understand that child upbringing, that child cerebral capacity, that child awareness on what the child should do, what the child should not do, largely is on the deeds or on the backs of the parents.
Bring it out.
Largely.
That's right.
Teach.
Okay? Twisted perversion, wickedness is at an all-time high for these children.
That's right.
How do we know these things? First of all, let's start with the cartoons with the children.
Bring it out.
Sure that.
Let's start with the cartoons. Now, every cartoon is not bad, man. Okay? Little children love little toys. They love fire trucks. They love flowers, Barbie dolls, and stuff like that. Okay, that is fine for a child. But with these cartoons, hold up the slide, bro. Stay with me. I got a lot of stuff. You ain't got to worry about that. I got a lot of information. The cartoons. Child abductions. Pedophilia. Witchcraft. You got your drag men, drag women coming into the public school systems, coming into these neighborhoods.
Sure that.
The gender changes is now being pushed upon the children. All these things mainstream now.
Bring it out.
Bring it out.
Man, that's mainstream.
That's right.
That mainstream. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I'm showing that the spirit of the world is all the way out of balance right now. There used to be a time to where that you think about a drag coming into your school and giving you a presentation. Just think about that if that was going down in the 90s.
Bring it out.
There was no way impossible that these things was going down in the 80s. Even in the early 2000s. Really wasn't even, not mainstream. Now, I'm not saying these things weren't going down. I'm talking about mainstream. Man, no, these things weren't going down. They mainstream today, ladies and gentlemen. They mainstream.
That's right.
That mean they have easy access to the influencing of the minds of the children.
That's right.
Easy access. They used to have to go behind doors. They used to have to go throughout the back doors, different things of that nature to try to get them to try to maneuver them. But now it's mainstream. It is mainstream television, mainstream on the news, on your TV, on your phone as part of normal life.
That's right. Keep bringing it out.
As part of normal life. Twisted perversion, wickedness is at an all-time high.
That's right. Bring it out.
All-time high.
Teach.
And the Lord is putting these spirits out on the planet to reveal themselves. There are some sick brothers and sisters out here, man.
That's right.
They sick, man.
Right.
They are sick. Need to be in the asylum. Sick. Need to be inside of an asylum. And they're not hiding it anymore. Older men, older women, praying after them, man. Looking after them. They're not hiding it anymore. They don't have to anymore. They're being praised for this wickedness. They're being praised for it. Let's go to the next slide. One thing that I want you brothers and sisters to understand is when you're doing your digging, man, and when you're looking for stuff, you can find if you're searching for it. When you're talking about these big conglomerates, you're talking about these governments, we're going to be talking about trafficking as well, too. That's happening right here, right in front of your house.
Bring it out.
I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, I'm telling you. You see, everything is fine, man. Everything is cool when everything is cool. When you're not looking, when you're not paying attention, when you're just in your own zone. For my parents, you're doing everything, you living your best life.
Bring it out.
You pleasing your flesh. When you got 1, 2, 3, 4 children. It is dangerous. Right here in the moment. And we're going to be talking about different things, man. I'm not prescribing for you to be overprotective with your child, not let your child do anything. We're going to be talking about different things like this as well throughout today's class. But I'm telling you, my brothers and sisters, you need to be focused on this issue. And this is not just in our neighborhoods. It's going all the way up to the top of the pyramid.
That's right. Teach.
And when I talk about the pyramid is, you know, when you look at those pyramid schemes and then you see that eye all the way up there at that top, and then it go down to these corporations, it go down to these governments, and it goes down to the banks, and it go down, and then we the regular people just sitting all the way up at the bottom. It ain't just dealing with us. This goes all the way up to the top. Yeah, you could play this video out. It might be an ad on the first thing. Go ahead and play it. Put it on the main screen and turn the volume up for it. This is what I want our brothers and sisters to start understanding. Play the video for them. Okay. Make sure your volume good. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Chairman McClintock,
Turn all the way up.
Ranking Member Japone, and distinguished members of the committee. It is an honor to be here. I thank you for the invitation to share my testimony. My goal is to inspire action to safeguard the lives of migrant children, including the staggering 85,000 that are missing. Today, children will work overnight shifts at slaughterhouses, factories, restaurants to pay their debts to smugglers and traffickers. Today, children will be sold for sex. Today, children will call a hotline to report they are being abused, neglected, and trafficked. And we don't know if they're going to get the help they need. For nearly a decade, unaccompanied children have been suffering in the shadows. And I have to confess, I knew nothing about their suffering until 2021, when I volunteered to help the Biden administration with the crisis at the southern border. As part of Operation Artemis, I was deployed to the Pomona Fairplex Emergency Intake Site in California to help HHS, Office of Refugee Resettlement, reunite children with sponsors in the United States. I thought I was going to help place children in loving homes. Instead, I discovered that children are being trafficked through a sophisticated network that begins with recruiting in home country, smuggling to the US border, and ends when ORR delivers a child to a sponsor. Some sponsors are criminals and traffickers and members of transnational criminal organizations. Some sponsors view children as commodities and assets to be used for earning income. This is why we are witnessing an explosion of labor trafficking. Now, whether it's intentional or not, it could be argued that the United States government has become the middleman in a large-scale, multi-billion-dollar child trafficking operation that is run by bad actors seeking to profit off of the lives of children.
There are final witnesses. Ms. Jonas is recognized for 5 minutes.
Put me back up on the screen and get the slideshow right back ready. Okay. You see, this is like, you see, and the thing is, you see that date, that's April 26, 2023, that's in front of the Senate of the government.
Bring it out.
That whistleblower right there, that's in front of the Senate of the government. So when I tell y'all that this go all the way up into the top, that this is serious business. And I know a lot of us, man, we're not really familiar with the Senate and the House and the representatives and Congress and different things of that nature. But those where real laws get passed for us in our communities, in our neighborhoods, so we can make sure that our communities and our neighborhoods stay safe for the next generation of seed that we got coming up. Okay? This is why I'm trying to bring awareness to this. Let's go back up to the slideshow. Hit the next slide. Serious business.
There are final witnesses.
Hit the right again. Just hit the right button again. Come on. Now look, brothers and sisters. Again, the reason why I'm putting this to your screen, the reason why I'm putting this at the forefront of so we can have awareness, and I've got a video right here. I'm gonna show you, brothers and sisters, how easy it is for your child to slip up out of your sight.
Bring it up!
How easy it is, and as a parent, where you should be, where your mind should be all the time. And we're going to be talking about this later on as well. This is why it's important to make sure that you got a village or make sure that you have a family to raise these children.
That's right.
A village, a family. So if you don't have your eyes on them at all times, you know somebody else at least got their eyes on them. Somebody that you trust. Somebody that you know. Somebody that you know has the same love and compassion for your child as you do. That's why it's very important. Watching your surroundings. Okay? Watching who you are around. And we're gonna be getting into that later on in today's sermon. Child abduction. Okay? Child abduction. You see, some parents they never think that their child could be abducted.
Bring it out.
That never really goes through a man or a woman mind. I'm not saying everybody, but when you think about it, some parents, they never even think about that. In the way of their mannerisms, the way that they train their child, in the way of how they protect their child, in the way of their knowledge and building up their knowledge about safety, different things in their child. Some of us just let our children do what they want to do. Go where they want to go. No boundaries. Evil spirits are rising at fast levels. Satan's seeds. Children are being abducted in broad daylight.
Bring it out.
Not just with children, women as well
That's right.
are being abducted in broad daylight. And I got something for you sisters as well. Again, man, for you sisters, if you by yourself, for you sisters, you with the children, hey man, you need to be on the phone. You need to be packing something.
That's right.
Look, man.
Bring it out.
Put that video on the big screen for me. Put this video that I got right here on the big screen. It's gonna start and it's gonna stop automatically. Put it on the big screen. This video right here, pause it. This video right here, it's gonna show you, this was an experiment for my brothers and sisters on how easy that it is for your child to get snatched. How easy it is. Okay? How easy it is for these things to go down. And I want all of my brothers and sisters to really watch this video. I want my brothers and sisters to really take heed on what's going down. Play the video.
To do if they're approached by someone they don't know.
Even if they've had that talk, do you know how your kids would really react?
Tonight, Team 12's Tram By has an eye-opening look at what happens when kids are truly put to the test.
As a parent, what you're about to see is really disturbing. Just when you thought talking to your kids was good enough, watch what happens when groups of kids are put in real-life scenarios. What will these kids do? Don't go with that man.
Police say it's not enough to just talk to kids about danger.
We want to test them.
So they're helping put two groups of kids to the test as their parents watch.
It's talking about right in here.
Dave Fisher is playing the bad guy. He and his wife Karen run camps that include role-playing to help kids distinguish a good stranger from a bad.
It's something that you need to reiterate over and over and over all the time.
For the test, there's a camera in Dave's SUV, one of 4 monitoring the scene. Police notifying the 911 center just in case any calls regarding a suspicious car in the neighborhood. You can feel the tension as moms watch the action from a nearby room, anticipating what their child would do.
Oh, okay. So there it is.
First, our bad guy approaches a group of 4-year-olds playing outside.
Hi, how are y'all?
He offers them candy and cupcakes.
You come over and get some of this. Look at all the stuff I got.
In just seconds, 2 of the girls eagerly greet the man at the end of the driveway.
You want soccer too?
Our bad guy now easily within arm's reach. One kid jumping up and down with excitement.
Within 5 seconds, one of those children, they could have been gone.
I was scared.
The mom's relieved that this is just a test.
I was freaking out. Yeah.
He could have grabbed you and put you in his car and taken you away from me forever and ever and ever. That's scary.
It wasn't a stranger.
It wasn't a stranger?
It was just a grown up.
Was he nice?
Put me back. Let's go back to the slideshow. Go to the right. Put the slideshow on the main screen. Put it up. And I just want to show you, brothers and sisters, that it is that easy. Okay? It is that easy.
Bring it out.
And I know, man, brothers and sisters, you probably look at that. Oh, you know what? That's white people. I got videos of us too. Okay? I got videos of us too.
Bring it out.
I just wanted to put that in the forefront to just show my brothers and sisters it's that easy. It is that easy, that fast, that easy, and that fast.
Teach.
And this is why, man, I got a lot of problems with these churches, man. I got a lot of problems with these churches.
Bring it out.
They just pulling precepts. You understand what I'm saying? They just pulling precepts. This right here is knowledge. You see, this right here is real life. This ain't imaginary.
That's right.
This ain't nothing coming out the sky. This is real life. It is that easy for that child or that woman or that man to be snatched up. Let's go to the next slide. 840,000 children being reported missing each year. But the spirits are rising now. From 2020 to 2023, that number jumped up to 1.3 million a year.
Bring it out.
Within the last 3 years. Something going on. And it's like I say, when we see these numbers, go ahead and multiply that by 3, by 6, by 5.
That's right.
Go ahead and multiply it. And again, and again, and again. This could happen, man. Right underneath your nose.
That's right.
It's that easy, brothers and sisters. It's that easy. In this situation right here, it'll make all malice and all things disappear when brothers and sisters holding grudges, brothers and sisters don't like each other, brothers and sisters going back and forth, headbutting with each other. Let one of these child get taken away.
Bring it out.
You see, your worst enemy then, at that moment, you're going to want your enemy to look for your child for you then.
That's right.
This is why the Lord is telling us, put me on the main screen. This is why the Lord is telling us that we must love our neighbor as we love ourselves.
That's right.
If we ever get into a time of a period like this, your doctrine will not matter then.
Bring that out.
I guarantee it.
Bring that out.
I guarantee it. What school you go to will not matter then. Whoever that you are, wherever that you live, will not matter then. See, I got a problem with these churches, man. Got a problem. Put me back up on the slideshow. Click the last video for that Twitter link. It's gonna pop up. It's a Twitter link, and then pause the video when you get there. Okay, it's gonna pull up. Pause it. Put it on the main. Pause it. Put it on the main screen. Pause it. Pause the video. Put it on the main screen. And again, this is what I'm trying to get for my brothers and sisters, and this is what I'm really trying to show. Put me, come. This is serious, man. This is serious, man. This is serious.
That's right.
Keep sharing knowledge.
This is serious. Play this video, man. I want everybody to look at this. Regular day, normal day, going up to the little slide, little side, little shop. Give me some ice cream. What's different about this day right here? I just want to pull up, give me something to eat, give me a snow cone or something. Look at this car right here in the back, just sitting here right next to the sidewalk with the back door open. The car is already with the back door open. You got the man right here in the green. Yeah, he acting like he talking on the phone. Yeah, he chilling. Look at the woman right here at the stand. She actually got her eyes up and she's looking. Then you got the little child right here. The back door already open. The trap is already set. She's just sitting right there. She want her some ice cream, bubble pop, blow pop, whatever that it is. This is a normal day. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your money. And then look at this. This woman right here, just as this close and this fast, this little girl going out to go and get her pop, she was almost taken just like that.
Bring it out.
Just like that. Put me back on the main screen. Just like that. That was a regular day. Probably done that 1,000 times. That's probably your favorite snow cone stand. You see what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? You see what I'm saying, brothers and sisters? It's probably your favorite spot. Your favorite place that you love to go to.
Bring it out.
In the trap, just set up just like that. Luckily, that sister had her eyes up. Maybe she was in the position before, who knows? Maybe, thank the Father that sister had her eyes up, or she would have been snatched like that. Let's go back up to the first slide. Let's go back up to the first video in that slide. See, when I say that perversion, and when I say that these things are creeping up, that these spirits are creeping up in wickedness at an all-time high, they'll just do it out in the open, just try to take your child. Play this video for them. Go ahead, put it on the screen and make it big. And then we're going to play this video on the screen for them as well. You see, man, they're not even caring no more. Play the video. They don't even care no more. Broad daylight. Play it again. Pause it. Put me back up on the slideshow.
Man, bring it out.
I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters. You see, we catch ourselves, man, throughout the week, man, on Facebook. We catch ourselves on the internet. We catch ourselves throughout our lives, man. We just worried about everything else. Not important. And that's what we train to do. That's how this system has trained us up.
That's right.
I'm bringing awareness to this for my brothers and sisters. You need to know. We need to be a family.
That's right.
A family. The grandfathers and the grandmothers and the mothers and the fathers and the aunts and the uncles. We need to be a family. See, man, you can get lost in the precepts. You can get lost in the prophecies. You can get lost in the dark sayings and the deep meanings, the parables. You can get lost in all that, man, and lose touch of sight of reality. Absolutely. Yes, sir. This right here, brothers and sisters, this is serious business. Put me back up on the slideshow. Let's go to the next slide. See, there are things, man, that with these children for my parents, man, you need to be building up your child. You need to be training up your child.
That's right.
You need to be training them up. Okay? And this is very important. You need to be training them up. Matter of fact, put me on the main screen. Let's go ahead and get some scriptures a little bit. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 6. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 6 real quick. Again, why it's very important that these children, for my parents, build up your child, man. Build them up.
That's right.
Knowledge and wisdom and understanding about these things, about their safety, about their whereabouts, especially that little child. You know that little child gonna want the balloon, man. You know he gonna want the balloon. You know he gonna want the candy. You know he gonna want the blow pop and the Pokemon card and the fire truck and the action figure and the Barbie doll.
That's right.
Okay. Build them up. Rehearse and recite with them these things, to put these things in their mind so they can at least know and have a chance when these situations may arise. They can have a chance, at least a chance. Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 6. Read this.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 6.
Read.
And these words, which I command thee this day, shall be in thine heart.
Keep reading.
And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
Man, it's very important to teach your children diligently about all things. Read.
And shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house.
Talking of them when you sitting in the house. Read.
And when thou walkest by the way.
When you walking by the way, building them up, training them up. Read.
And when thou liest down.
When they lying down before bed, building them up, training them up. Read.
And when thou risest up.
And when they rising up early in the morning, never missing a moment to train up them child.
That's right.
Never missing a moment.
That's right.
Never missing a moment to train up these children. Child predators on the loose.
That's right.
Okay? Salivating at the moment like a damn hyena. Like a dog, a wild dog. Child predators on the loose. Missing children popping up everywhere. Abduction, trafficking going on. And I'm holding on to my son like, man, I'm holding on to my daughter. Hey, man. Read.
And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand.
The Lord said you're going to bind them upon a sign before your hand. Read.
And they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes.
The Lord said they're going to be frontlets, man. It's going to be sealed in their consciousness. Read.
And thou shalt write them upon the post of thy house.
Remind them again. Make them up on post of your house. Read.
And on thy gate.
Put a one in the chat, brothers and sisters, if we hear, man. We got people tuned in on this one, man. Put a one in the chat if you hear. Brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters. Put me back up on the slide. Brothers and sisters. Put a one in the chat if you in, man. Put a one in the chat if you in. All praise to the Most High and the Son. Put a one in the chat if you're following along. Okay? And this is very serious. This is what we're dealing with. Put a one in the chat if you hear. Put a one in the chat if you're following along. Put a one in the chat if you're learning. And this is very serious. This is what we... Okay? And again, I'm just trying to bring awareness. Put a one in the chat. Where the ones at, man? Where the ones at? Where the ones at? Let's see the ones. So you got to vibe out to this. You got to listen to this. This is sound. No way, no form and fashion. Anybody can disagree with this.
Bring it up.
No way, no form and fashion. Anybody can disagree with this. Because that's what it is. And that's what the bishop does. Exhort the believers and convince the gainsayers.
Bring it out.
When you dealing with your children, man, you have to. It is very important that you build them up or you train them up in safety protection.
That's right.
Safety tips protection. It's very important that you build them up in safety tips protections, man. Safety tips protection. And with your child, for my parents, and this is just advice, man, you know, everybody, you're going to parent your own way. I ain't telling you what to do, man, you know, but I'm giving you advice. Okay? All the parents and the child, the children need to be aware of the normal safety measures. They need to be aware. We turn the AC off? No, turn it on. But just not as on sub-zero. Okay? And these are the things, man, that for my parents, you need to be teaching your children these things right here. Okay? And when the brew get back, we're gonna put it up. We're gonna put it up on the main screen. The different things that you need to be aware of and teaching your children. Okay, and this is very important, right? From my mothers and my fathers, okay? When you're dealing with your children need to know the general safety. General safety. Okay? And they need to be able to memorize important information.
That's right. Bring it out.
Okay? They need to be able to memorize important information. They need to know their name, how to spell their name, when their birthday is.
That's right.
They need to know that by heart.
That's right.
They need to know how to spell their first, their middle, and their last name, and they need to know their parents' names as well, not just mama and daddy.
Bring it out.
These are basic safety tips that your children must know. They must know their name, they must know their birth date, and they have to know their mother and father's name, at least by first name. The people can figure it out, say who the last name is. It'll be great if they know that they address, where they live, phone numbers. The children, they need to be able to memorize their phone number, their mama phone number, their dad's phone numbers. And you'll be amazed. These children can do that by 4 years old.
Bring it out.
3 years old. You'll be amazed.
That's right.
You will be amazed.
That's right.
Teaching them to never give this information out. If they get lost somewhere, if something actually happened, some type of protocol. Teaching these children not to talk to strangers, not to be entertaining people that they don't know. General safety tips, at least being able to know how to dial 911. See, these things right here, as parents, we won't do with our children. We won't do this. We won't do this at all. Teaching that child how to go and dial 911 if something happens. Not to be talking to strangers, taking anything from strangers. General safety tips.
That's right.
These children need to know.
That's right.
Hit the next slide. Home safety as well. You see these things, man, with these children getting snatched, man, these child predators on the loose, these guys, this sex trafficking, different things of that nature. You think it just happened in public places? You think it's just happening when we out in public or somewhere like that? This can happen at your front door.
That's right.
At your front door.
That's right.
I got rules and regulations at my house. Absolutely. And my dad drove the money, and me, he ain't play, you know what I'm saying, real old school brew, right? Home safety, teaching these children. Say, man, never answer the door, especially if you leave them at home alone.
That's right.
These children should know, I ain't opening the door, I don't give a damn who it is. Never answering the phone when they at home alone unless they know who calling. Sometimes, man, you got to leave the children at home at an early age, 8 years old, 9 years old, got to leave them at house. Got to leave them at home for 2 hours and hopefully they don't climb on the ceiling and break the ceiling fan. Sometimes you in that position as well.
Bring it out.
They need to be able to know when that phone call, do not pick up that phone. These child predator, they'll call your house. Hoping that the child will answer the phone.
Bring it out.
These traffickers will call your house, hoping that the little boy will answer the phone. See, they need to know home safety. Locking of the doors, right? Them doors need to be locked at all times, man. Unless you living in the country to where you ain't got no neighbors. Hey, man, you in the city, your door need to be locked at all times, even if you in the house.
That's right.
That's right.
Lock them doors.
That's right.
Lock the doors. Lock them doors. Okay? Lock them doors. If you got security systems, if you got alarms in your homes, everybody don't have these things, you got security cameras, they need to be on, man. That alarm system need to be turned on every time you leave that house. Every time. It need to be on. Children need to know these home safety type things. Okay? When you in the house, man, your parents, if you got guns, hey, man, keep them guns away from them children.
That's right.
And you know, you can train your child up to know how to operate a firearm, and I'm all for that. Okay? I am all for that. But if you are a parent that is not training your children how to operate a firearm, do not have no guns in them houses. Don't have no guns in there. Or if you know, if it is in there, you and only you need to know where it's at. Never show them. You can have your child grow up with firearms. I believe that's fine. You can raise your child without firearms. I believe that's fine. But if you don't raise them children up with them firearms, or if them children are raised around them firearms, you need to have a close eye on what they doing with them guns. Where they are around with them guns. Medicine cabinets, tools, dangerous items. They need to know this before they even step out in that world. See, this home training. That's right. This is what your mothers and fathers should be doing. Building up them child, teaching these children so these things can be between their eyes like frontlets. Frontlets between their eyes. Let's go to the next slide. Street safety. General safety practices, home safety. What about street safety? Instilling in these children's minds so they can know not to be by themselves. And for you parents, don't just send your child off somewhere, man. Your children need to be in contact with you as well. I made it here. I'm about to leave here. We about to do this. I'll be home in this. And on these days for my parents, they got it on their phone. You need to be tracking your children as well too. That's right. Track them. You better track them. Right. Now, you don't have to. You don't have to. But these avenues are available. And if these are available, okay, you sending them off to school, put an air tag in their backpack. Okay? So you can know where they at. You can know what they doing. You can know who they by. You can track your children, man. And I'm not advocating to be with this whole overprotection type of thing. I'm not an advocate for that. But I'm not an advocate for being a damn fool.
That's right. That's right.
I'm not an advocate for that.
That's right.
I'm not an advocate for not even taking the measures. Nah. Okay? Put me back up on the slide. And parents, man, just be aware of your children. Just be aware in the streets, especially when they in the streets. Have some type of protocols, man. You got a teenage daughter, you got a teenage son. Man, they want to go to the movies, man. You let them go to the movies. Have some protocols, though. Okay? You know the parent over there, they want to go with the child house. You know the parent or whatever. It's cool, okay? You got an agreement with your child. Have them protocols, though.
That's right.
Have them protocols. And when they break that protocol one time, it's over. Tight leash. Is what the scriptures say. Go to the next slide. And this is the most important thing right here. For my brothers and sisters. With these children, they need internet restrictions. They need heavy internet surveillance. Internet safety on the World Wide Web. Internet safety. You need to be having some type of clue what they doing, what they involved with on these phones, on these tablets, on these computers, because 90% of these trafficking or these kidnapping, they finding these children on the internet, man.
Right. Bring it out!
They are finding them on the internet. I know the TikTok dances are cool with the little girl shaking her tail feather. That is a dream for a child predator. That's a dream.
Bring it out.
You're not understanding, man, with the access of all these dating apps, these sexting apps, sex on selling on your phone. You can just click one link. I like you. Let's meet up. click one thing. I don't like you. Let's not meet up. Just at an easy access of an avenue, man, for your child to get snatched.
Bring it out.
For the woman to get abducted. That easy. That fast. For that child, man, to be in a situation to where they don't need to be. That child. Put me back up on the screen. Heavy internet surveillance. Let's go to the next slide. And with these children from my parents, limit who they exposed to. And this is the very most important thing of where I tell about family, man. Family. This is why it's important for especially the church congregations. It need to be family. A village need to be raised to protect these children, man.
That's right.
It's a village.
That's right.
When you're around your family, you got 20 eyeballs on your child at all times. Hey, hold up. Where you going? Hey, where you? That need to be the norm.
Bring it out. That's right.
You let them have their freedom, man. You let them have they times and they stuff like that as children, man, like you did. But you need to be aware. Limit to who they exposed to, man. You know, you let your child go spend the night over somebody's house, man. Hey, you need to know who that person is. Okay? Children should not be spending the night over somebody's house that you don't know. Who you can't call.
Bring it up.
You don't know first and last name. You don't know their address. You don't know where they is, so you can just pull up. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. You can't just be loosey-goosey. You can't just be not aware of what your children doing. You can't be not aware of what your children doing. Pull me up on the next slide. And for my brothers and sisters, man, if you ever be experienced or you ever go through a situation like this, man, everybody need to write down this number right here, okay? This is the 24-hour missing children and exploited children national 24-hour hotline, okay? You need to write this down, and you need to know this number. It's a quick search on the internet, okay? But you need to know this. And you need to know these things. Okay? It's 1-800-THE-LOST. 800-843-5678. Okay? Which is the national number. All right? Just for everybody, I'm going to give everybody a time, man, to write that down. Get everybody a time to awareness. And for you parents, man, it'll be good to have a book, man. It'll be good to have some type of information to where if you ever need to have anything of this type of situation, you can at least have some type of form of avenue for you to go to so you can know that this is exactly what you need. Okay? Let's go to the next slide. Now, matter of fact, pull me down on the scribe. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 14 and verse 7. Look at this one. Yeah. Go to 2nd Ezra chapter 14 and verse 7. Okay? Because again, for my brothers and sisters, it's very imperative that we know the times.
That's right.
It's very imperative that we know that this is not the world that we used to live in 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. They got drag, they got gender changes, this pedophilia, these child predators. It's out in the open now.
That's right.
They trying to make pedophilia, make it like a gender change. Like that this is okay to do. Absolutely not. We must understand what the times that we are at today. Again, you have to be aware of these things for my brothers and sisters. You have to be aware. You have to be aware. You must be aware. You have to be. Second Ezra, chapter 14, in verse 7. Read this.
The book of Second Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 7.
Read.
And now I say unto thee, that thou lay up in thy heart the signs that I have showed, and the dreams that thou hast seen, and the interpretations which thou hast heard.
Read.
For thou shalt be taken away from all, and from henceforth thou shalt remain with my son, and with such as be like thee until the times be ended.
Keep reading.
For the world has lost his youth, and the times begin to wax old.
The scriptures is telling us, man, that the world has already lost his youth. New Jerusalem is on its way being birthed. Read.
For the world is divided into 12 parts.
12 dispensations of time. Read.
And the 10 parts of it are gone already.
The first 10 parts of dispensations of time have already been completed. Read.
And half of a tenth apart.
And half of the second 10th part has already been completed. Read.
And there remaineth that which is after the half of the 10th part. And therefore, set thine house in order.
Read again.
Now therefore, set thine house in order.
This is what the Lord is telling us.
That's right.
Times are waxing old.
That's right.
Right before the birth of the child is the most painful time for the woman.
Bring it out.
Understand that concept. And this is how it is birthing in New Jerusalem right now at the moment. Right before the woman gives birth, the woman child gives birth to the man child, the pain is the worst for the woman. You see, the new child is being born right now, so that means that the pain is in the earth is going to be the worst.
Bring it out.
Demons, blood-sucking, leeching demons. Vampires. Sickness, wickedness amongst the earth is at an all-time high because New Jerusalem is right here at our fingertips. Right in these dispensations of times. The world is waxing old and wickedness is great and worse. Read.
Now, therefore, set down house in order.
The Lord said, your house, man, set it in order. Read.
And reprove thy people.
Reprove your neighbors. Read.
Comfort such of them as be in trouble.
The ones that's in trouble, man, make sure you're comforting them. Read.
And now renounce corruption.
All corruption in your life, you need to renounce it. Read.
Let go from the mortal thoughts.
These mortal thoughts, man, mortal thoughts that we have. Let them go. Read.
Cast away the burdens of man.
That flesh, man, that beastly nature. Cast it off. Read.
Put off now the weak nature.
The weak nature of the flesh, the Lord said, cast it off. Read.
And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee.
It's very important that we set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto us. Read.
And has thee to flee from these times.
These times that we in, the Lord said, free from them and enter into his rest. Read.
For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter.
The Lord is telling us for what great evils than those which has happened before shall be done hereafter. Brothers and sisters, this ain't the normal time that it used to be in.
Bring it out.
This ain't the normal time.
That's right.
This ain't the normal time. Okay? Put me back up on the slideshow. You see, we got to beware of this. Child predators, man. Trafficking, abductions. We're going to be talking about this trafficking here for a quick second. And trafficking is very disturbing. I don't see how you could solicit a child for sex in any... I don't see how that is Satan.
Bring it out.
Full-fledged satanic. You can't justify. Ain't no way. And it's a lot of them out here. I'm going to show you 3 different scenarios of where these trafficking rings, where they going down. where these things are happening at. The first video where I'm going to show you is, I'm going to show you a young girl here in Dallas got abducted with her mama and daddy at the Dallas Mavericks basketball game. The second video, it's just all the way disturbing. And then the third video that I'm going to show you is a trafficking ring in Plano, Texas.
Bring it out.
In Plano. In a beautiful, nice suburban neighborhood.
Bring it out.
See, this is serious business, brothers and sisters.
Yes, sir.
This ain't nothing to play with, man. This ain't nothing to wink your eyes at, man. And it take the neighborhood to protect these children, man. It take the whole family to protect these children. It take the whole family to protect these women.
Yes,
some of you men, some of you men, some of you men, some of you brothers. That light still ain't clicked on in your head that you the provider. That light still ain't clicked on in your head that you the protector. I pray that the Father that light click on today. Right now.
That's right.
I pray that light click on today. Tonight.
That's right.
Right now. Let's go to the slideshow. Play the first video for him, bro. Nah, the one on the left. Yeah, play the first video for him. And I'm just showing you, brothers and sisters, man, how these things can happen. Make sure you got the volume up good. These things is real. You gotta be aware. Play the video.
That was a crime that made headlines around the world. A North Texas girl, she disappeared during a Mavs game at the AAC. Authorities found her days later with sex traffickers in another state. Well, tonight, we now know of an arrest, a local arrest tied to that case, a case impacting a family desperate for help. I-Team reporter Ginger Allen and I recently sat down with the girl's parents.
Kyle and Brooke Morris have waited months to find out who took their daughter from the AAC last April. Haunted by these grainy surveillance pictures, they only knew the men by what they wore.
There's video of yellow hoodie using his cell phone, and then got yellow hoodie or gray hoodie, then comes walking up.
The Morrises say the man in yellow struck up a conversation with their 15-year-old daughter when she walked to the bathroom.
She did tell me that it was along the lines of, hey, let's go hang out until the game's over, and then, you can get back to your dad.
Now, a DPD source tells the I-Team they believe the man in yellow is 33-year-old Emmanuel Cartanea. He's charged with sexual assault of a child. The girl told her parents she was lured into a parking garage where she was raped and driven away. She wouldn't be found for 10 days. The couple, with the help of a private investigator, tracked her to a hotel in Oklahoma City where she was being trafficked.
She was drugged over several days, and so bits of her memory is still coming back.
None of the Dallas suspects were there, but Oklahoma City police made 3 other arrests. 2 of them pleaded guilty to charges including traffic.
And this is the one thing that
This Plano neighborhood off US 75 is usually a pretty quiet place.
Pause it right there. Yeah, okay, come on. Put me back up on the main screen with the first one. The first video. Yeah. Now, are these dudes Israelites?
Bring it out.
Bring it out.
You see, when we think about this type of perversion and wickedness, the only thing we think about is the white man. It's the white man.
Bring it out.
Oh yeah, brothers and sisters. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You see, again, we always think about these type of wickedness just being with the white man. That's far from the truth, brothers and sisters. That is furthest from the truth, ladies and gentlemen. You see, this type of wickedness come in all skin tones, all nationalities, all foreign, no matter where you is.
That's right.
See, this wickedness plagues everybody. See what I'm saying? Put me back up on the video. Keep playing it.
Trafficking and making child pornography. Back in Dallas, police still had not opened a case.
I spoke to 2 lieutenants, 3 detectives in the Dallas Police Department, and not one of them would take our report.
The Morses say they were finally allowed to file a report in October. In December, 8 months after the girl disappeared, Crime Stoppers released the surveillance photos of the persons of interest. With one of the suspects now behind bars, the Morses tell the I-Team they now hope 2 more arrests are made soon. Ginger Allen, CBS 11.
Let's go to the second video. You see these trafficking, man, and like this is unbelievable. And
last weekend, police.
This is unbelievable, and we're gonna be talking about this stuff as well, man. With these predators, we're gonna be talking about who are the most famous predators as well too. Let's play this video as well.
Broke up a major sex trafficking ring in Colombia, which has become a destination for tourists looking for sex with boys and girls. The police had help from an American who went undercover to rescue the children, and Elaine Quijano met him.
Tim Ballard has one mission: to track down child traffickers. 4 months ago, Colombian authorities asked him to investigate a tip that children were being sold there as sex slaves.
Within a half hour, this individual walked up to me, starts asking me what I'm here for, what I want, and within minutes, he said, well, I've got kids as young as 11 years old.
Ballard, a former Homeland Security agent, now heads up Operation Underground Railroad, a nonprofit group that rescues trafficked kids. After that first meeting, the Colombians asked him to put together a sting.
No men will be in here, only women.
Operation Underground Railroad spent months planning, renting this house, rigging it with hidden cameras to document the crime, coordinating with Colombian authorities, and negotiating with the traffickers.
How they find these kids is they lure them in by pretending to have a modeling agency. They target them at 9 or 10 years old. And they were telling us that about by 11, they're ready for sex. They're ready to be sold.
What is it like looking into that kind of person's eyes?
It's horrifying, and this is why. Because I've got a smile in the face of evil. This is the table where we're going to do the negotiation.
Less than 24 hours after the operatives landed, the suspected traffickers arrived on the island, and the final deal, the undercover team, began. 54 boys and girls, aged 11 to 18, were ushered in for what had been billed as a sex party. They were given candy and drinks and told to wait in this small room.
This little 11-year-old boy, I remember, he asked my operatives if they could give him some cocaine or something. He said, they usually give me something because I'm really scared.
By the time the deal was done, the alleged traffickers were set to make $25,000. That transaction was never completed. 25 Colombian special operatives stormed the party, arresting 5 suspects, 4 men and 1 former beauty queen, all charged with child trafficking. The victims.
Let's go to the next video. In this next video, where I want to show, especially for you brothers and sisters that's in Dallas, Texas.
Bring it out.
Or that's around the Dallas area, or if you are around these inner cities with these cities, they got these rings probably setting up, and that's your next door neighbor.
Bring it out.
Bring it out.
You need to be protective with your children. You husbands, you need to be protective over your wives and your children. Protective. And being protective is not fun all the time. It ain't happy all the time. You're not gonna be liked all the time for a man being protective, but that's your job. That's your duty. That's your job. Is to protect as the best of your ability as you can to protect Now we got this video right here, man. I'm telling you, a nice suburban neighborhood. You know what I mean? You know, look at the trees, man. You know what I'm saying? Nice Plano neighborhood, nice Plano suburban neighborhood, a nice renter house, a nice rent house. Somebody own it, they just leasing out their own house inside of a good school district. They got grocery stores, they got doctors' offices, they got dentists around the streets. There ain't no malt liquor in the neighborhoods, and ain't no gun store, drugstore, gun store, drugstore, drugstore, gun store in the neighborhoods. You can go get your eyes checked in Plano. You can go get your ears checked in Plano. You heard me?
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? You can go to the dentist. And these things could be right around the corner from you. You brothers and sisters need to be paying attention. Play the video.
This Plano neighborhood off US 75 is usually a pretty quiet place.
Just young people with, young kids or older folks that have lived here for a long, long time.
Homeowner Judy Lombardi said that wasn't the case Friday afternoon when she had some friends over.
She came in and she said that there's a SWAT team out there with guns.
Across the street from Lombardi, police busted this Plano home, which was being used as a sex...
Look at this house, man. I mean, nice suburban home, pool in the back, you know what I mean? Nice grill out, detached garage, front yard, backyard, can pull in, got their own private gate, look like a normal suburban neighborhood to me. Play the video.
Trafficking ring operation. Police arrested the person running the operation for aggravated promotion of prostitution and brought several women out of the house as well.
Some of them weren't quite dressed.
But it wasn't the homeowners running this. It had been rented out as a short-term rental property, one of nearly 700 active rentals in the city of Plano.
I want people to see when they come in and out of the neighborhood.
Pause it.
Bill Friend.
Take me off the screen. Put me back up on the slideshow. No, put me back on the main screen. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. And we need to be sober-minded. We need to be diligent. Okay? We need to be aware. We need to be focused. And we just need to be, more aware. And it's easy to slip, man. It is. Because you get so comfortable in your life. My family, I'm on them all the time. Constantly. On them. And man, when you get out the car, you need to look both ways.
That's right.
Before you pull in this driveway, you need to pull in this driveway slow so you can see if anybody is on the side of the house. You don't need to be going nowhere by yourself when it's dark at night. You need to be, if somebody is right behind you for the next 2 or 3 lights, making the same turns you need to make, you need to be on the phone.
Bring it out.
You need to be aware of your surroundings. Don't be answering that door if you don't know who it is. Just don't answer it. Watch who you talking to. Watch who you dealing with. Watch who you are for you women and especially for the children. Have a good eye on it. Be diligent. Be vigilant. Be focused. 1 Peter 5 and 8, read this.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 5 and verse 8.
Read.
Be sober.
See, the Lord is telling us to be sober. Read.
Be vigilant.
Vigilant in our minds. Sober. Vigilant in our minds. Read.
Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
Go to Psalms 10 and 9. Go to Psalms 10 and 9. And when you in your homes for your parents, Come up with some protocols, man. If you don't have any protocols, come up with some protocols in your home. You married couples, come together in an agreement with certain protocols. We're going to do this. This is going to be the standard. This is going to be the way. This is how we're going to take preventative actions on these different things. Okay, we're going to track them. Okay, we're going to tag them. Okay, they have to call in when they're doing this. For the young children, make sure they know their name, how to spell their name. Make sure they know that they know their mother's name, at least their father's name, some type of phone number that they can remember, the information that they need to remember. Make sure that they have that. At least being able to call 911 when to open the door. When the parents have some protocols, man. Have some protocols. Have some protocols, family. Have some protocols in your house. Because this is just madness in these streets. Psalms 10 and 9. Read this.
The book of Psalms, chapter 10 and verse 9.
Read.
He lieth in wait secretly, as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net.
Read.
He croucheth. He humbleth himself.
Croucheth, humbleth, read.
That the poor may fall by his strong one.
Go ahead and put me back up on the slideshow. All praise to the Most High and His Son, man. Put a one in the chat, brothers and sisters, if you learn it. Put a one in the chat if this is edifying for you, man. Put a one in the chat. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Put a one in the chat. All praise to the Most High and His Son. Put a one in the chat if you needed this. If you a parent that's slipping. If you a parent that if this wasn't your focus. If you a parent that maybe you don't have no protocols, put a one in the chat if this bearing witness with you. Put a one in the chat if this for you. This is what it's all about, man. When you coming in these synagogues and you listening to these sermons, it's about learning, man. Awareness and learning and putting these things into your life. Put a one in the chat. Where the ones at? We got way more people in the chat for the amount of ones that we got. We got way more people, man. Come on. Don't be peeking. Support. Support. Don't be peeking. Just peeking. Support. Put that one in the chat. Let everybody know you watch. This trafficking, man. This is what's going on. This trafficking. This is going on. And they in it for the money, man. You know, it's a $300 billion industry. 300 billion. It's a $300 billion industry. 25 million people worldwide get victimized. 60% of them go into forced labor. 40% of them go into sex trafficking. This is adult and children. Most trafficking transactions happen online on the internet. Most trafficking happen online and on the internet. Okay? Let's go to this next slide.
Was a crime.
Now for you sisters, again, it's trafficking. They out here snatching like they snatching chips in Walmart. They snatching. They snatching. And this is a major, major warning for my sisters, especially my single sisters, especially my single sisters with children. Listen to me closely. This message is for my single sisters and my single sisters with children. You need to be careful.
That's right. Bring it out.
You need to be careful, my sisters. You need to be careful. You need to be careful. Okay? Because they got traps. And you are very vulnerable. Especially if your head not right.
That's right. That's right. Teach.
It's especially you ain't been trained up. You just loosey goosey. You easy pickings.
That's right.
For my sisters, for my single sisters that got children. And for my brothers, man, when you out by yourself with your own children, you the easiest one to take it out of your child. Because you're used to the woman having a child all day.
Bring it out.
Even for you easy pickings as well too.
That's right.
I know you ain't looking at that boy. I know you ain't looking at that little girl, man. Your mind distracted. They got it all. Play this video for them, for you brothers and sisters, man, especially for you sisters. Take heed, man, to this video so you can understand they got different signs and different things that they'll do. They'll come and put a piece of paper on your windshield. They'll put a piece of paper. They'll put some napkins in between your door handles. They'll put zip ties on your cars. They'll come, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Play the video.
Good evening. Tonight's big story, disturbing new video is making the rounds on social media, showing how sex traffickers could be targeting their victims, and it all centers around zip ties.
Team 12's Rachel Cole took the viral video to Phoenix police to see if this trend is happening in the Valley.
This is the third one in a row. I found one of these on her car in the exact same spot, back passenger door.
This unsettling 3-minute video suggesting predators are picking out and tagging victims' property.
What's the deal with the zip tie being on your back passenger handle every morning? For the past 3 mornings, I've cut it off.
Currently, that's not a trend that we're experiencing here in Phoenix. However, it doesn't mean that trends can't travel.
Phoenix Police Sergeant Philip Krinsky saying while that type of targeting isn't happening here in the Valley, sex trafficking is a common problem in our community, and social media is a breeding ground for it.
We are commonly seeing right now is the grooming that's going in with these types of circumstances with possible victims. This would include going after them through social media, gaming sites, kids gaming sites. It's also through dating apps. So it is important for parents to kind of keep an eye on their children's electronic use, whether it's going to be on their tablets, on their gaming systems, and of course their phones.
Phoenix law enforcement working closely with other agencies and state leaders in an effort to protect victims.
But we know we had about close to 200 kids just in Maricopa County identified as having been sex trafficked between 2018 and 2020, and over 2,000 adults identified by all the various agencies in our state in the same time period.
Maria Fuentes with the Arizona Human Trafficking Council saying while the fight against the problem is already underway, even more action is being taken, with $10 million from the state going toward victim resources through the Department of Emergency Assistance.
To help develop victim-centered multidisciplinary programs that will increase our ability throughout the state to combat, prevent, and support victims of human trafficking.
As agencies work to take a victim-sensitive approach, they all share the same message about open conversations with your kids and watching for signs.
Changing behavior, clothing, gifts, or gift cards that are coming from nowhere.
It's up to all of us to be educated on the signs and to have and continue to develop the tools needed to help support those vulnerable and those that are currently suffering in this circumstance.
Rachel Cole.
All praise to the Most High and His Son, man. And for you brothers and sisters, man, on these social media platforms, right? Man, stop using that, man, to be negative. Be positive on the social media platforms, man. You brothers and sisters, we should be passing this type of information around. Okay? This is the type of information that we should be sharing.
That's right.
Okay, not this other stuff, man, that we love to feast on, like a hyena or a baboon or a maggot. You know what I mean? This is the type of information that we need to be receiving. This right here. This don't matter where you go. This don't matter who you are. This right here can happen to your family, man, and this will be devastating.
That's right.
It'll be devastating. Let's go to the slideshow. All praise to the Most Highness. Man, I pray y'all really pray this really hitting your heart, man. Hit the next slide.
That's right.
Now, brothers and sisters, beware of child predators. They on the rise. I'm gonna say this again. When you take me off the screen, when you're dealing with abductions, you're dealing with trafficking, kidnapping, taking children. This is with child predators. Be aware that this could be someone that you know very closely.
Bring it out. That's right.
Put me back on the screen with the slideshow. When you understand in our neighborhoods and in our community, so-called African American community, a lot of these children that get abducted, that get sexually abused, is from someone that they know.
That's right.
See, at first we're talking about, different situations of us being out, you know what I mean? Getting, how dangerous that it is. Put me on the main screen. How dangerous that it is opening the streets, showing videos of, you at the Maverick game. These things can happen, right? Get snatched up, trafficking with the abductions. And that's just on one side of the spectrum. But where this really goes down is inside of these families.
That's right.
This is where this normally goes down. Inside of the family. This is the reason why, as a parent, you need to have close eye on your children. You need to have a close eye on them. And for the other people that's around your children, you need to have a close eye on them people as well.
That's right.
Can't be out here slick.
No, sir.
Can't be out here loosey-goosey.
No, sir.
You can't just be giving anyone the benefit of the doubt. Prove a friend. Prove them. You better prove them. You better prove them.
That's right.
You better prove them. Most of these things in these situations, most of them, a lot of them, come from somebody that you know. And I know that this may be a very touchy topic, man, because a lot of us are victims of sexual abuse from people that we know.
That's right.
Your uncle, your cousin, your cousin, your second, third cousin that's claiming to be your cousin and he ain't. Your uncle that's claiming to be your cousin and they ain't. So this is real. Put me on the main screen again with the slideshow. Again, brothers and sisters, beware of child predators. They are out there.
That's right.
In mass numbers.
That's right.
In mass numbers. Their spirits are rising. They're able to get away with things to show their wickedness and to show their sickness. Beware of child predators. Beware of them. Hit the next slide. These are a few signs that you can see that if a man or a woman is preying on your child or not.
Bring it out.
And again, man, we just don't think that these things can happen. We just don't think that. You see what I'm saying? And for you brothers and sisters that got children, that got wives and different things of this nature, how many times do you think about this?
Bring it out.
Is this on the forefront of your life? Do you have any education on this? Do you ever think about these things like this? See, these are certain signs that you might be close to somebody, or somebody may be, or this dude or this woman may be a child predator. And again, wickedness is rising at an all-time high in this stage. Drags, you got gender change, gender fluidity, pedophilia at an all-time high. Bring it up! And I was gonna have the Jeffrey Epstein files. I was gonna put that in here, but I just ain't have enough time. I would have did a whole another 2 hours on that.
Bring it out.
Okay, but I was gonna put that in. I ain't wanting to block the video because I was gonna go in on all your favorite celebrities and stuff.
Bring it out.
Did a bid at the Lollipop Island with Jeffrey Epstein, but these are a couple of signs that my parents, you need to be paying attention to.
That's right.
What a child predator gonna do with that child? They're gonna groom him.
That's right.
They're gonna groom him. What a child predator gonna do to that child, that predator gonna groom him. Child predators often engage in grooming tactics to gain the trust of a child and their family in order to eventually build a sexual abusive relationship with the child, man. That mean that man or that woman gonna come and make a relationship with you.
That's right.
Not just the child. You see what I'm saying? See, that predator gonna make a relationship with the parents first. So that predator can go behind the scenes and slither like a snake and get the approval of the parents first. Sick. Need to be put to death.
That's right.
Parents must be aware of red flags in strangers, acquaintances, friends, family members, mentors, so they can help prevent their child from being groomed or suffering some type of sexual abuse. Oh, yes, sir.
Bring it out.
Oh, yes, sir.
That's right.
Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hit the next slide. This is what the grooming process gonna look like. And you can look up this information, man. They got all type of stuff. I mean, they got this down to a science, man. You know, you can catch a nasty brew with the quickness. You know, you can see a nasty sister from a distance.
Bring it out.
I just broke it down a little bit. First, what the child predator gonna do? The child predator gonna choose a victim. Now, go back to the slide before. Child predators often engage in grooming tactics to gain the trust of a child and their family. I want to highlight that part because they're going to get approval from the man and the woman about their child first to groom them up. Go to the next slide. They're going to choose a victim. See, predator going to target a child perceived to be vulnerable to easily gain access to them and their family and their community. A wide open child. A family that's not really paying attention to their child a lot. A family that kind of just let their child wander. And they dig this information. And this process is for a while. This may include children who lack adult supervision, parents that got drug, alcohol, addiction issues, or those who have been physically, mentally, or psychologically abused. And that's pretty much everybody in our neighborhood, man. Bring it up! That's pretty much everybody in our neighborhood. That's pretty much everybody. Pull up the slide again. Predators target children perceived as vulnerable to easily gain access to them and their families and communities. This includes children who lack adult supervision. Do these children even got parents anymore these days?
Bring it out.
These young thugs, man. And these young female thugs, they harder than the boys now.
Bring it out.
They ain't got parents. Parents who got drug, alcohol, addiction issues. I mean, man, that plague our community, man.
That's fast.
These parents drugged out, drunk out. And or those who have been physically, mentally, and psychologically abused, man. This is we got a target on our head, brothers and sisters. We got a target for the child predators. You know, they normally gonna look for someone that's deprived of resources, somebody that don't have a good backing, probably somebody from a poor economic background. Someone that really don't have any education. Someone that, you know, is young. Preying on them. Sick. Go back up to the slide. Next slide. The first process, they're going to choose a victim. The second process, or the second stage of the grooming process, they're going to develop trust and gain access. You know, they're going, and again, most of the times, it's people that you know. It's people that you know. Sitting right alongside of you, kikiing it up with you, talking with your child, dealing with your child. Child abusers often try to gain trust by giving the child special attention, such as through compliments, gifts, or other forms of attention. You gotta be real weary about this. See, the child predators, they're gonna groom the child. You know, gonna ride around, you know, gonna pick them up, take them for joy rides. You know, give them gifts, give them access. You know, expose them to drugs, expose them to liquor, pick them up, fire up a spliff, ride around in the city with them. Entice the young girl with money, entice the young girl with candy, entice the young girl with a good time. Slowly but surely, they start creeping in and creeping in more and creeping in more and creeping in more and creeping in more. Brothers and sisters, you need to be watching these men and be watching these women, especially these men. If that man around them children all the time, when and he acting real inappropriately, every time that you see him, he always dealing with a younger man or a younger woman. You need to mark them, man.
Bring it out.
I'm telling you. You need to mark them. Because that's not normal. You don't do that. That's normal. Looking to try to develop a special relationship with a child, a special relationship with a young boy, a special relationship with a young girl, you in your 40s, you in your 50s, you in your 30s, you in your 60s. This little boy right here, 12 years old. This little girl right here, 11 years old. Want a special relationship, gifts. Want to take them out. Want to show them special things. Child predators be acting like Santa Claus. Go to the next slide. Third stage, forming an emotional connection. In-laws, your uncles, part of these organizations and different things like that, where you got easy access to the children. And one of the things that the parents you need to start doing, put me on the main screen as well. One of the things that the parents you need to start doing, brothers and sisters, is you need to start having conversations with your children.
That's right.
Ask your son and ask your daughter them tough questions. Has anybody been touching you? Has anybody been trying to pick you up? Has anybody been trying to call your phone? Has anybody been talking to you, speaking to you in your ear? Is anybody trying to give you something? When you out and with your parents and when you with your child and you see your child dealing with somebody that you don't know, you need to go and introduce yourself to that man or that woman.
That's right.
Go and introduce yourself. How you know my son? How you know my daughter? How you so comfortable with my son? How you so comfortable with my daughter? You need to ask your children these questions. Ask your children these questions. You can save your child just by communicating with them, just by talking to them. And when you see it, don't act like you don't see it as a parent. And when you see it going down, don't turn your shoulder to it and ignore it. Deal with it. Put me up on the slide again. Child abusers attempt to form an emotional connection or fulfill an emotional need. This could mean manipulating the child into believing that they are the only one who will be able to fulfill a certain need, or convincing them to believe that they are the only one who fully understands them. The abuser's goal here is to trick the child into idolizing them or viewing them as their sole confidant. Hit the next slide. Stage 4, when you're talking about child abductions, these different things of that nature. Now the child predator, man, now when he done got that child, man, he gonna start putting threats and control over the child now. Child predator often manipulate abused children into not telling anyone about their special relationship. The abuser may threaten the child with physical harm to themselves or to the child, even a third party. Talk to your children. Put me on the main screen. Communicate with your children. Talk to them. They could have a friend and have a special relationship. That one friend could be threatening them with their life. They one friend could be threatening them with telling their mother and father. They one friend could be having a gun to their head, threatening them. He 12 years old at the school. It could be his teacher. He 11 years old. It could be anybody. She 12 years old. She 9 years old. He 8 years old.
Bring it out.
Communicate with your children. Some of us parents, we don't want to do that. We just whoop them. Not really getting to know them, your own child. Not seeing their characteristics in their behavior. They'll tell you without even telling you. So-and-so touching me. So-and-so being creepy towards me. So-and-so want to go and pick me up.
That's right.
So-and-so, he 35, 40 years old. He say he want to hang out with me. I'm 12.
Bring it out.
He want to hang out.
Bring it out.
She want to hang out. Talk to your children. Talk to them. And don't be embarrassed about it. That's that cold, hard truth that they need to get from their father.
Bring that out.
Right. It's facts.
Mothers, you need to be doing it too. But this that conversation where you look your son or your daughter cold in their soul and you ask them these questions. It's gonna be uncomfortable to them.
That's right.
And that's okay. But you need to know. With your children, you need to know. You need to know. Put me back on the slide. I'm just keeping it 100. Again, that threaten, that control. Child predators often manipulate, abuse. And again, most of these children that child predators go after, they're going to be abused, man. They're not going to have parents, really. Mothers and fathers. They're not going to have no resources. Probably a lot of them going to be in these homeless shelters and stuff like that. Going to be, a lot of child predators around these homeless shelters picking up these young girls that ain't got nothing, picking up these young boys that don't have nothing, don't have nobody to look up to. They easy to prey. Okay? Talk to these children. Right? And be con on that, man. Do a full examination of your children's bodies as well. Okay? Just don't be loosey-goosey, man. Do a full examination. Do a full examination of their body.
That's right.
Okay? You done seen your baby naked before, man. You the reason why they're here. So do examination on their body.
That's right.
Take a look at their legs, man. Take a look at their arms. Take a look at their necks. Take a look at their butts, their backsides, their chest. Ask them these tough questions. Make sure that they not getting touched on. Make sure that they not being abused. Make sure. Put me back up on the slide. The abuser may threaten the child with physical harm or to themselves or to the child, even to a third party. Let's go to the next slide. Unfortunately, this can be somebody close to you. Now, who I got on your screen here, this old nasty white man. This dude here nasty. And I'm going to show you some African Americans who just as nasty as this nasty white man. I'm going to show you some Hispanics that's just as nasty as this nasty white man. But this nasty white man, at least he told the truth, though, about him being a child predator. What he look for, what type of situations that he go and scout at, what boys he look at, what girls he look at, the situations that they look in, to make sure that when he closing in on his suspect, he choosing the right one. Brothers and sisters, man, my God. Play this video for him, man. Play the video.
How did you get them alone?
Grooming. I would check out their family situation. I would check out their clothing to see how well they were, financially. I would check out their social interaction with other kids. When we were on the ballparks or on the gym floor, I would make sure which ones I wanted to molest. I would give them special attention, congratulate them, talk to them when I know that I would never be allowed to talk to anybody else. Aside from everybody, I would give them the attention that an official is not supposed to give anybody. And it made them feel like, wow, he's paying me attention. It is a direct form of grooming.
Were there certain characteristics that you look for in children before molesting them?
In children, yes, but more I also looked at their families. If I thought the father was a threat, I would not approach the child. If I thought that the child had friends that he would tell, I would not approach him. If I thought the child had friends that were in the same capacity he was, I would approach him. For the simple fact that if I could molest him, I could lure him into believing, grooming him into believing that he would enjoy it. And therefore, I could manipulate him into having his other friends come and be molested by me as well.
So perhaps a child that doesn't really have a whole lot of friends, maybe not really a strong family, things like that.
Yes, no spiritual values, weak in education, needs help in many ways, even from split parenting, has a mother who may be having problems with the family, well, here comes superhero in to help out, wow, well, thank you very much. No problem. You ever need me to take them away for the night so you can have a night out? No problem. It works.
Put me on the main screen. You see what I'm saying?
Bring it out.
I mean, he telling you, man. He's just telling you the truth. I mean, he ain't hiding nothing. He ain't hiding it at all. He ain't hiding it at all. Listen to the key things that he said that was very important. He said, man, I'm not gonna go after. He said, I'm not gonna go after that child if I see that child father is a threat.
Bring it out.
This is very important for you fathers, man. You need to be walking, man, with the stone cold killer on your face.
That's right.
Shit. I wish you would, man. I wish you would, man. Just by their presence alone is deter them away.
That's right.
Just by their presence. See, but the ones he say he do go after is the ones that's malnourished, the ones that don't have a mother or father, or the ones that mother and father is split. They're not together. If they got friends, the neighborhoods that they come in, the friends, if the friends gonna tell, if he really impoverished, if he really in poverty, that's what them child predator look for. This is why it's so important that we develop inside of these congregations the family mentality.
That's right.
the family. Because, you know, in this church family, my nieces and nephews, I really view them as my nieces and nephews for real, for real. Like they my own children. That if anybody was to do anything to any one of these children, I'm sliding behind that.
Bring it out.
On everything.
That's right.
I'm sliding. Because that's what I want somebody to do for my child.
Bring it out.
If I'm not able to be right then and there in that moment, I want my neighbor to slide for me, for my child.
That's right.
I want him to slide for my wife. Because if somebody else is with that brother wife, I'm going to slide for my brother wife.
That's right.
I'm going to slide. And slide is just a slang term for, I was going to say I'm a ride, but ride is a slang term too. Man, y'all know what I'm talking about, bro. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it is. You know, when I'm telling them to get back there in the back, I ain't telling them to get back in the back to be mean. I'm telling them to get back there in the back so they can not be in the front.
That's right.
Because I know somebody can just easily just roll up, pull up, and skirt. Tell these children to get back there in the back. Get away out the street. Get off by the sidewalk. It ain't being mean or nothing like that. It's just, hey, instincts up, eyes up, ears up.
Yes, sir.
At all times. Put me on the next slide, man. See, and that's the thing, man. See, the family. The family. You know, family. It's just what it's all about. Put me on the next slide. Family. Okay? Now, again, with these predators. And we need to have our eyes up. Matter of fact, pull up the screen with all the pictures, bro, of all the missing people. Whenever you get a chance. Pull up the screen of all the missing people. Okay? And look at all these nationalities on these images. This is stop it, pause it right there. Man, you got look at this little girl, man. Look at this little girl right here. What happened to this little girl, man? Pull up. Go to the top again. I'm sorry. Look at these women, man, these children. Men too. But we dealing with more than women and children. We talking about child predators and stuff, man. This is heartbreaking, bro. This is catastrophic to a family. Scroll down. Stop right there. Put the image on that little girl right there, man. Boy, I could just, boy. I'll be in the garage cooking up a bomb. I'll be full clipped.
That's right.
Full clipped. Keep scrolling down. Scroll down slowly. Right here, stop right here, man. Little Hispanic girls, little black girls. Keep scrolling down. Look at my sisters, man. And if you look at the people that's missing, it's all women and children.
Bring it out.
It's just women and children. These missing faces, man. Just missing. Wandering off somewhere, snatched. Just not paying attention, snatched. Nasty cousin that's in the family. Nasty uncle that's in the family. Nasty aunt that's in the family. Scroll up, snatched them. Come on, man. And I'm going to play this video right here. And I want you to see. You children got them phones, man. They got these tablets. They got all these gadgets and stuff. Hey, man. You need to have a close eye on them. You know how fast it is for your 12-year-old boy to get a Tinder account?
Bring it out.
You think they ain't gonna get one, huh? Yeah. Your 12-year-old girl, she wants some money. She got her OnlyFans account.
Bring that out.
You know, Pornhub is free. You can just type that in on the internet and it's free. Trafficking going on there. Predators going on these sites. All different type of sites. They got too many sites and stuff now, man. You can't even keep up with them no more.
Bring it out.
They making one every day, easily accessible. If you got these children, monitor them on these internet sites. Monitor them because, and again, you got these child predators again. These child predators will make fake profiles.
That's right.
You know, getting within these children groups, acting like a 12-year-old boy. He 39.
That's right.
He could probably make a fake profile to be a 9-year-old little girl, 10-year-old little girl. He's sitting back, he's 47. Come over to my house and play Barbie dolls.
Real talk.
Come over to my house and get a sandwich. I have pies, I have candy.
That's right.
Real talk. That's why you parents, the golden hand, need to be out at all times.
That's right.
Okay. Well, fly. You got the Pootie Tang. We got the Pootie Tang gift. We got one of them. Man. Man. And Pootie Tang switch. You feel me? Just with the quickness, just down, you know. What you want? Mama, I'm just watching basketball. All right. Yeah, you better be. Yeah. It better be LeBron.
Right.
You mean? And why it's so important? Because these things happening all the time, especially on this web. Play this video right here. This video gonna be about 5 minutes long, and it's gonna detail how easy this is with these damn child predators, man. I'm loaded. I'm ready.
And
I'm loaded. I'm ready. Not behind mine. And again, you letting your child spend the night somewhere, you better know who they are, man.
That's right.
Where they live, where they address at, they number on speed dial. Right next to 911 if they playing. This video gonna be about 5 minutes, and this is gonna give an in-depth detail of just like, man, the world is in a provocative, in a perversion state of mind right now, to where the rest of the world, man, this thing's just happening on an everyday basis. Man, play this video. Watch this.
Enough, our inboxes were flooded with dozens of these guys that were, trying to meet up with, who they thought was an underage boy or girl. The predator population over in Philly is just astronomical. I mean, they have a real problem over there. Now, we were communicating with, dozens of these guys, but in just one night, 3 of these guys came to actually meet in person who they thought was, an underage girl / boy. It's actually a bit disturbing if you think about it. So the first guy of the night, he said his name was Lee. I believe he lived somewhere, I forget the city, but it was about 30 minutes outside of Philadelphia. I believe we came across him in a Kik chat room. And if you know anything about Kik chat rooms, you know what kind of guys are typically in those chat rooms. And, Lee was one of those guys, of course. Right off the bat, the decoy told him that, she was 13, and Lee did not hesitate to advance and keep talking to her. He asks her a series of sexually charged questions, asks her if she's ever smoked marijuana before, says that he can bring some over for her to smoke. And with that, outside of the solicitation, you have, this individual attempting to distribute illegal narcotics to a minor. I mean, it's not a good look at all. Lee was a very, very fast mover. About 3 or 4 hours after we first came across him, he showed up to our sting house to meet this 13-year-old girl. Now, Lee was the first predator we caught that used the "I'm gay" excuse. Not that there was anything wrong with, any sexuality, but Lee used this as an excuse to basically say that he wasn't there to meet a 13-year-old girl and that he was actually there to meet a guy instead. But, the chat log doesn't lie. And this obviously wasn't the case. He had sent multiple pictures of himself, various messages from his phone number, and then he was given the address which he showed up to. So there's really no way that he could actually think that he was supposed to be meeting anyone other than, a 13-year-old girl. Interacting with Lee was very, very interesting. He was a little bit late to our sting house. He claimed that that was because he had gotten into a fight just down the street with a homeless guy, and this homeless guy tore his hoodie, he said. It's a very interesting story. But of course, Lee can explain all this much better than I can, so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Lee. Hey, sir. Oh, hi, Predatory Investigation Unit. Oh, man. I'm going to need you to have a seat right there with the police on standby. All right? Damn. You have a bit of a hard time getting here today? No. No? Just have a seat for me there, please. You said that someone just tore your hoodie. Yeah. What happened there? Oh, that's so fight on the street. Oh, wow. It's crazy. Oh, look at that. You woke my son up. What is it, Junior? You just woke my son up there. Oh, what? Okay. Well, you're going to want to get over here for this. Is where you need to have a talk with this gentleman. What happened? Well, he's geared up to meet your sister, who you know is 13. Is that correct, sir? No. Wait, what? Well, what brings you in today, sir? Who are you here to meet? Well, actually, it was this girl named Christina. Christina. That I've been talking to. Okay. She sent me an address, but it was actually an abandoned house. An abandoned house. Okay. Right. You step a little bit more over there. I'm going to get the gentleman space. Well, now after meeting my sister, I don't know who your sister is. I'm sorry. Okay, well, how old is the person you're here to meet? 18. 18. What about right here when she told you that she was 13? See that right there? Says I'm actually 13. So this is your number, the one ending so if I call your phone, it's not going to ring? Okay. Let's try it. You put it on silent right now? No. No? Can you show me your phone? Can you show me your phone? Sure. It's taking you a minute there. Because I'm trying to figure out. Well, just show me the screen of your phone. Oh. Yeah. You just ended the call. No. I'm pretty sure you did. Okay, well, just leave it just like that. Did you just turn notifications off, or? Okay.
You could be using a text screen number too.
Could be. Well, I'm going to have this conversation with.
Right here. I'm actually not.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. So this would be your picture, right? That's you, right?
Yes, it is.
And you sent that a little bit ago.
No, I didn't.
Well, who sent that then?
I'm on an app that people steal pictures on.
Oh, so how did you find this girl?
Put me on the main screen. Hey man, what's that dude nationality?
Bring it out.
And he said he was on a what? He was on an app. trying to meet up with a 13-year-old little girl. Take them out joyriding probably. You know, take them out probably go get some pizza. Maybe to a ball game. Show them some extra privileges. Brothers and sisters need to have your eyes up on your babies, man.
Bring it out.
Brothers and sisters need to be taking this way more serious, man. Hit the next slide. That may be the last one, brother. Pull it up. You know, we must be able to put on the whole armor of the Father, man, in these troubling, wicked times to protect our children, man, and our future. You know, there shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord, but in temptation, evil again, he gonna deliver us, man. This is just, I just wanted to put this on our brothers and sisters' minds real quick. We got a couple of scriptures, and then we're gonna close out today, man. Let's go to Tobit chapter 12 and verse 6. Tobit. Put a one in the chat, man, if this hitting home. Put a one in the chat if you're still here. We got a lot of people in class today. Put a one in the chat if this hit home, man. All praises to the Most High and His Son. Put a one in the chat if this hitting home. Put a one in the chat. If you can use this information, man, for your family, if you can use this information for your loved ones, to spread this message around, to let people know, man, that it's a very bad sickness going on with this pedophilia, these child kidnappings, man, these child predators going on in these neighborhoods and these streets, man. Put a one in the chat if you think that this is important. You'll be able to use this information. If this information is good, if this is knowledgeable to understand. This is just good home training, man. That's all it is. Good home training.
That's right.
That the children need to hear, that the women need to hear, that everyone need to hear, especially the fathers of these children. Everyone need to hear this message, man. Protect these children at all costs. Build these children up at all costs. Give these children the understanding that they need at all costs. Put the fear of God in their life, man.
That's right.
Put the fear of God in their life. Don't wink at their follies. Don't allow them to lie to you. Where they been, who they been talking to, who they affiliating with, what's on their phone, what's on their computer, who been touching you, where you been. Don't let your children lie to you either, because they will lie in a heartbeat.
That's right.
Be on them. Be vigilant and be diligent. This is what the Most High and His Son is telling us. Tobit, chapter 12 and verse 8. Read this.
The book of Tobit, chapter 12 and verse 8.
Read.
Prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness.
Prayer is good, brothers and sisters, man. Pray for the well-being of your children. Pray for the well-being of your household. Prayer is good. Also with fasting on top of that. Also with good deeds on top of that. Pray and you fast. You cut off the mortal deeds of the flesh. You let go of the mortal thoughts. You fast. And your alms with your good deeds and your loves with the righteousness of the law is good. Read.
A little with righteousness.
A little prayer, a little fasting, a little alms with righteousness. Read.
Is better than much with unrighteousness.
It's better than much of these things with unrighteousness in your life. Read.
It is better to give alms.
The scripture tells us that it's better to give these alms, read,
than to lay up gold.
These things are laying up in gold. Train up your child in the way that they should go. Read.
For alms doth deliver from death.
This is why your almshouse need to be up for my brothers and sisters, for protection over your household. Make sure your deeds up. Make sure your good deeds up for protection of your household. The Lord will make these things be stored up in your storehouses. Alms doth deliver from death. Read.
And shall purge away all sin.
All sin, the Lord said He'll purge them away. Read.
Those that exercise alms.
When you exercise alms, read.
And righteousness.
Read.
Shall be filled with light.
Go to Matthew chapter 26 and verse 41. This is the humbleness of spirit that the Most High and His Son is telling us that we need to be having. Because this world is dangerous, man. You in this weak flesh, 1 second, 1 moment, one bad thing, you can get taken out, man. Always have them store arms up. always have you walking in the Most High in His Son, walking in His righteousness, walking in the humbleness of spirit, understanding the times of the essence of what it is, and the most important thing, how the enemy is going after the children. Read verse 41.
The book of Matthew, chapter 26 and verse 41.
Read.
Watch and pray.
Watch, pray, read.
That ye enter not into temptation.
That you enter in not into temptations in these times. Read.
The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 33 and verse 1. Coming to an end. All praise to the Most High and the Son, man. Make sure that we sharing this class. This is very important. This is a very important sermon. Make sure we sharing this. Let everybody see this. Okay? Because this is a message that need to be heard. It need to be adapted. It need to be understood. Ecclesiasticus chapter 33 and verse 1. Read this.
The book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 33 and verse 1.
Read.
There shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord, but in temptation, even again, he will deliver him.
Keep reading.
A wise man hateth not the law, but he that is an hypocrite therein is as a ship in a storm. A man of understanding trusteth in the law, and the law is faithful unto him, as an oracle.
Keep reading.
Prepare what to say, and so thou shalt be heard, and bind up instruction, and then make answer.
This is all praise to the Most High and the Son. We're going to end it off on this. Go to Ecclesiasticus 30 and 1. Matter of fact, we're going to start at Ecclesiasticus chapter 30 and verse 8. Okay? And all praises to the Most High and the Son, man. And again, very important. Hopefully that you brothers and sisters get this message. Ecclesiasticus 30. We're going to start at verse 8.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 30 and verse 8.
Read.
And horse not broken becometh headstrong.
This is with them children. A horse that's not broken down, that young man and that young woman that's not broken down become headstrong. Read.
And a child left to himself will be willful.
See, you got a child left to yourself. That child is going to be willful in the things that they do. Make sure that you're breaking down and a horse not broken. Break that horse in your house. Read.
Conquer thy child.
See, but if you pamper your child, if you spoil your child, you don't want to build them up in the way that they should go. Read.
And he shall make thee afraid.
And he going to come back and have your mind and your body and your soul constantly worrying about your child. Read.
Play with him.
You play with your children. You don't want to give them no order, instruction, making sure that they know the necessary information that they need to go out and to protect themselves. You play with them. Read.
And he will bring thee to heaviness.
And it's going to bring heaviness unto the parents. Read.
Laugh not with him.
See, sometimes, man, it's good to laugh with your children, but sometimes your children need to know that you ain't playing.
That's right.
Okay? They need to know that you're not playing. If you're constantly laughing with them, read.
Lest they have sorrow with him.
Lest they have sorrow with thee at the end if you're laughing and pampering with them. Read.
And lest thou gnash thy teeth in the end.
Keep reading.
Give him no liberty in his youth.
These young men, young women, don't give them no liberty in their youth. Be on them. Read.
And weep not at his follies.
Especially if they got follies. Especially if they have mishaps. They lying, chilling, cheating, stealing, being bad. Don't wink at their follies. Break that horse. Read.
Bow down his neck while he is young.
The young man or the young woman bow down their neck when they're young. Read.
And beat him on the sides while he is a child.
Make sure that they get some understanding. Read.
Lest he wax stubborn.
Lest the woman, unless that young man or that young woman gonna wax stubborn. Read.
And be disobedient unto thee.
And be disobedient. Read.
And so bring sorrow to thine heart.
And bring sorrow to the family. Read.
Chastise thy son.
Chastise them sons and them daughters in this dark times. Read.
And hold him to labor.
Hold these young men and young women. Hold them to labor. Read.
Lest his lewd behavior be an offense unto thee.
All praise to the Most High and His Son, man. Thank you for you brothers and sisters. Hopefully, man, you brothers and sisters take heed to this. This is very important, okay? Protect yourselves at all times. Be vigilant at all times. Have your eyes up at all times. And we got to protect these children, man. Satan is out trying to do his deal. All praise to the